You keep telling yourself you just need to try harder. So you make the list, you buy the planner, you promise that tomorrow will be different, and then tomorrow arrives, and the smallest task feels electrically heavy. You freeze, you avoid it. By night, you are not just behind, you are ashamed. That cycle feels like laziness because from the outside, it looks like inaction. But laziness is a poor description for what is often happening inside your nervous system. A better word is overload, or threat, or friction hidden deep in the machinery. Now let's make the thesis plain. If you only attack procrastination with motivation, you will keep losing. Motivation is unstable. It rises and drops with sleep, stress, novelty, hormones, conflict, grief, and plain old mental fatigue. So when people tell you to want it more, they're treating a wiring problem like a character problem. And that is why the advice fails. Procrastination is often not a time management issue first. It is an emotion management issue. Specifically, your brain learns to avoid tasks that trigger discomfort faster than it learns to value long-term reward. That is not weakness. It is efficient, short-term threat reduction. Think of your mind as a control panel. One system is the planner. It handles sequencing, prioritizing, and holding a goal in place. Clinically, this sits under executive function, which is just the brain's management system. Another system is the alarm. It scans for pain, uncertainty, possible failure, exposure, boredom, or overwhelm. When the alarm fires hard enough, the planner does not get voted off the island dramatically. It gets quietly overridden. So you do not decide to procrastinate in the simple way you imagine. Your system reallocates energy away from a task that feels costly and toward relief. Scroll, snack, clean a drawer, research for 3 hours instead of sending one email. The behavior looks irrational. Mechanically, it makes perfect sense. This is where self-help myths do damage. The first myth says disciplined people feel like doing hard things and then do them anyway. Usually, no. Disciplined people are often just better at reducing activation energy. They make the task smaller, clearer, earlier, uglier, and easier to begin. The second myth says you procrastinate because you do not care enough. But many people procrastinate most on what they care about most. Why? Because important tasks carry identity weight. If the task matters, failure means more. Exposure means more. Judgment means more. So the alarm gets louder. Notice your pattern. Do you avoid vague tasks? Then uncertainty is the friction. Do you avoid meaningful tasks? Then evaluation may be the friction. Do you avoid simple tasks you already know how to do? Then depletion may be the friction. Do you wait until panic kicks in so adrenaline can carry you? Then urgency has become your borrowed fuel. That last one is common. Your brain learns that dread eventually produces a chemical push, so it repeats the loop. Not because it is good, because it worked just enough to become a habit. So what do you do instead? Use a 4-part framework, not to become perfect, to become interruptible. First, name the friction specifically, not I'm procrastinating. Too global. Ask, what exactly hurts here? Is it confusion? Fear of doing it badly? Resentment? Mental fog? The need to make too many choices? Precision matters because each friction has a different fix. You cannot solve everything is wrong. You can solve I do not know the first visible step. Second, reduce the startup cost. Your brain overestimates the size of a task when the entry point is abstract. So shrink the doorway, not work on taxes. Open the folder, not write the report. Draft the first 3 ugly bullet points. If a task takes emotional force to begin, your first step is too big. And yes, this sounds almost insultingly simple. But simple is not the same as weak. A heavy door still moves on a small hinge. Third, separate action from evaluation. A lot of procrastination is hidden perfectionism. You are trying to perform and judge at the same time. That is like pressing the gas and the brake together. So split them. Make one pass to produce, another pass to refine. During the first pass, ban quality control. Your only job is contact with the task. Fourth, build recovery into the system. If every task begins after you are already drained, you will keep calling exhaustion a mindset problem. Sleep debt, chronic stress, grief, depression, ADHD, anxiety, burnout. These are not excuses. They are load-bearing variables. Compassion is not letting yourself off the hook. It is using the correct map. And if your procrastination is severe, persistent, and touches many parts of life, consider support beyond productivity advice. Sometimes the issue is not a broken habit. It is an overloaded mind that needs treatment, structure, or both. Here is the part I want you to keep. You're not waiting to become a different person before you can act. You're learning how your system stalls and how to restart it with less force. So today, do not promise yourself a total life reset. That is the old trap. Pick one task you have been avoiding. Name the friction. Cut the first step down until it feels almost embarrassingly small. Then begin before your mind can reopen the negotiation. Not because you are lazy, because now you understand the mechanism, and mechanisms can be changed.